My question for you is, we had 10 picks in this draft.
Yeah.
And so for Chicago Bears fans to kind of try and keep an eye on what to expect heading into the next year, what would you say the number is in terms of per draft? If you're the general manager, Corey, you know, how many, if you had 10 picks every year, how many of those guys do you think realistically should be contributors and or starters out of those 10 heading into next year? What is a realistic expectation?
So I think at least 5 to 6, in my opinion, whether it's special teams, some kind of role, right? Active in the game, right? So I could potentially see Sewell maybe vying for that Sam spot, right? A big physical guy. It seems like, you know, everybody's so high on Jack Sanborn, all of a sudden, you know, him and Sanborn competing for that Sam spot. And if it doesn't work out for him, I know he'll play special teams. He has that motor. He has that energy. He's a big guy that can run. Stevenson, I think, will be a starter, you know, at the outside corner position. Obviously, we know Darnell Wright will be a day one starter. Dexter, it just depends, him and Pickens, what other needs they feel, but one of them is probably going to be a starter. And then Tyler Scott, I think he'll have a chance to start out of the slot potentially, depending on what it is. And then, one of the later picks, you know, there'll probably be somebody that really comes alive and is potentially a starter. So I think Sewell could have a chance for that. I really like his energy. I like his size. That would be kind of crazy, you know, because everyone's so high on Jack Sanborn. We go out and get 2 linebackers, and then all of a sudden we draft Sewell.
A third.
Who can play? You know, he's not a slouch by any means. So, you know, Sanborn's position is not guaranteed. So I think Sewell has some value in there. I wouldn't be surprised if he competed against Sanborn and, you know, got a legit shot to start.
And just like a tiny little bit with TJ Edwards, just like a little bit, right? They didn't put a ton of money into him. He was a guy who benefited from a great Eagles defense, guy who's around the football a lot. I think they want to see that again. And great, you know, obviously depth is always going to be important moving forward. I mean, I love to hear that. My guess was going to be like 3 to 4. And from my estimation too, I think the Dexter Pickens double tap is just kind of like, hey, one of these guys, right, needs to probably, there's going to be an iron sharpens iron, and one of these guys is going to win out on that job, and we're going to move forward with them, and hopefully that works out.